Hey, ahoy, and good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. The Hex crypto community, crypto pirates, and fellow investors alike. Very exciting week in Hex, of course. As always, lots of news and rumblings going on about the sacrifice phase. I'll talk about that in just a minute in my take as well, and when we may expect that to start. First, let's go ahead and jump into the price chart here real quick. Let's take a look at the Hex price. I am also going to have a hard stop at 12 because the lovely nerd girl will be doing her show directly after this one. So let's take a look here and see. Hex price, a lot of volatilities we've seen. Again, a 5-minute chart, nothing really too new here, hanging around 8.4 cents. Actually, Hex is, performing quite well compared to the rest of the markets. And, something we can all be quite happy with on top of that. You're earning your trustless interest. Lots of discussions also. I watched the FN Hangout this morning prior to this show. Lots of excitement in the space. The community is stronger than ever. And I think once we see Sacrifice launched, I wouldn't be surprised for a 2x. I know many people are calling for maybe a 3 or 4x price. I think there'll be some sell-off once it hits around that 10-cent point, but it's been holding around that 8-cent floor for the past couple weeks. So good to see some stability there as well. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some of the articles I pulled up for this week. First one here. Our favorite crypto influencer, Elon Musk. As we know, Elon trolls my channel, so I'm sure he'll tweet about my comments here. But update, Tesla billionaire Elon Musk outlines Visa speed, relating to Visa cards, processing transactions, Dogecoin upgrade plan after serious Bitcoin and Ethereum warning. Well, this article goes on, and it really doesn't get into any details as far as how this is supposed to expand and evolve to this level. He just makes a lot of comments here. You know that Elon has been at war with the Bitcoin maxis. They were friends at the beginning. He went a different direction, and then he started pumping Dogecoin, and now they hate him. So there's a lot of back and forth. Obviously, what this article is and what he's discussing is rooted in that. Here he says the Dogecoin price has surged this year, initially riding January's meme stock wave, but subsequently developing a haphazard community, somewhat led by Musk, who envisioned it eventually competing with the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Musk, whose irreverent attitude to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies on Twitter has alienated much of the Bitcoin community. And again, that's where I believe a lot of this is rooted. As previously said, all of his Dogecoin-related comments shouldn't be taken seriously, but has since ramped up his support of it. That's an interesting comment to make. Issuing calls for developer support and promising to put a literal Dogecoin on the literal moon via his rocket company, SpaceX. I have no idea what use case that or how that actually enhances Doge at all, other than just a media headline and some short-term, short-lived excitement. But really, what he's saying, all he does talk about in the article is like, well, there's some long-awaited upgrade that's not expected to be completed for years. And he's talking about Ethereum and Bitcoin there, as we all know. And he's saying the Dogecoin. Musk was replying to a tweet by Wallace that claimed the Dogecoin update is coming soon. Boy, we've heard that before in crypto. And that it will position Doge perfectly to become one of the most used currencies in the world. I'd say that this is all just complete white noise dog shit. Doge is a fork of Lucky Coin, which is a fork of Litecoin, which is a fork of Bitcoin. It was made to be a joke. Touched on this a million times. Anybody in crypto for more than a day already knows that. And I think this is just a bunch of, again, attention-getting nonsense. It's never going to materialize into anything, in my opinion. And the hype around this stuff is just the people that are glomming onto Dogecoin have no idea what the hell they're getting into, nor do they care. All they care about is, some big pump from Elon, and they can cash out before everybody dumps. So another article here, by the way, let me just do a quick audio check. Did I do that yet? Make sure that the sound is clear. I think we're good. TikTok bans influencers from promoting cryptocurrencies. Again, we've seen social media platforms. Facebook is not crypto friendly. YouTube's really not that crypto friendly. Most media forums, social media platforms are not that crypto friendly. I find this kind of comical, because the crap that you see on TikTok especially is, very edgy nonsense, radical garbage for the most part. It's just people doing extremely stupid things for attention, and the stuff that they allow on there. But they're going to complain about, well, crypto. Here's their rationale. This is like what they usually say in social media. According to the report, the move is directly aimed at putting a stop to the worrying trend of high-risk investments being touted on social media. Many of these unsuitable high-risk investments are nothing more than various frauds, scams, or schemes. As a result of this shadow banning, legitimate financial firms, that's kind of funny right there, will also be affected and no longer able to utilize influencers in the same way they do now. The problem I have with this is it takes away, again, I've always said, the personal responsibility of making decisions. And it doesn't have to be just aimed at crypto. If you buy anything or you do anything in life, decisions you make are yours and yours alone. If you are a lemming and you just follow people and you follow the herd, or you're a sheeple, then those decisions you still own. It's not correct to put that on somebody else. And if you just listen to people on YouTube, and I'll throw myself in that category, you're reckless investing. And that's really this is the problem with not teaching people about money and investments and common sense when it comes to dealing with these things in life. Instead, this is a cop-out move by social media, because they're worried that somebody might get wrecked in crypto and then blame Facebook or TikTok. And let's be clear, these people don't give two shits about you. They don't care about anybody in mainstream society. They care only about their reputation, their brand, and their revenue stream. And this is a liability as far as they're concerned, not worth taking the time to do any analysis or assess any risk at all. Or at least just tell people, hey man, you know what? It's you, right? You made a choice. If you made a bad choice, well, learn from it and turn the page and move on. Do something better. We've all been there. We've all made mistakes getting into the various investments. It could be real estate, could be anything. Some people bought gold in the bubble too. All right, another one here. This one, because it radiates kind of into the regular financial sectors, who've seen some pullbacks this week of Finance 1.0 as well. China widens clampdown on overseas listings with pre-IPO review of firms with large user data. China's cyberspace regulator said on Saturday, any company with data for more than 1 million users must undergo a security review before listing its shares overseas, broadening a clampdown on its large platform economy. And the article goes on here detailing, really what China's trying to do is they like their communist total control over everything. This is just totalitarianism, and anything that's not within their total grasp of the wheel, they lash out, and they don't want anybody to have leverage outside of their borders. I think it's just a matter of time before Didi is a company they've been focused on, which is an Uber deliveries company over there. And again, they're actually starting to go after their own companies, their own people now, because opportunities are better off outside of their borders. And of course, you can't really take much from what China actually tells you to what they're actually thinking. You just got to look at what they do. And motions such as this kind of speak volumes for where their real agenda is from the top down. Again, I'm not carpet bombing the entire Chinese society. I know that the government doesn't necessarily speak for them, but when you have no voice, this is the kind of thing you get. So this radiated through Finance 1.0. And the reason I bring it up is because those of you that do watch the Dow, you do watch the NASDAQ, this was one of the headlines that was driving down the Dow on Thursday. We did rebound a bit yesterday, but pre-market it was down like 500-600 points. And I think we'll see some swings in volatility, but the world is bigger than China. I think China's a flash in the pan long term. It'll eventually be other lower cost regions and stuff. Like I said before too, it used to be Japan was where all the outsourcing was going. There was the cheaper labor. Now Japan is just as expensive as the US. Plus we've had some pullback this week as Japan has banned participants or people from attending the Olympics in person. There's not going to be any spectators allowed. There's the Delta variant now we've seen, but there's a lot of mixed reports on, how much current vaccines are effective and what protocols. I think Dr. Gottlieb nailed it, though, that it's not going to be the same play out as we've seen before. There's a lot more data and a lot more maybe specific, like surgical strikes, so to say, in high risk regions, but probably not going to be the black swan event we saw a year ago. So stay tuned for that as well. Of course, that's going to be in the headlines. We see it pop up daily in the news. All righty, let's pull up the next one here, and we'll get into the chat and stuff. Just a minute. I've only got a couple more articles to go on. So this, again, I wanted to touch this real quick because G20 signs off on tax crackdown, warns on various variants. This is, again, part of what was driving some of the markets. Go to the key points real quick. The tax deal caps 8 years of wrangling over the tax issue, and the aim is for national leaders to give it a final blessing at an October G20 summit in Rome. The pact would establish a global minimum corporate tax of at least 15%. To deter multinationals from shopping around for the lowest tax rate. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said a handful of smaller countries still opposed to the deal, such as low-tax Ireland and Hungary. Kevin O'Leary was on there, too, the other day talking about you're never going to get Ireland and Hungary, but especially Ireland he focused on to, bow the knee to this. And I think anybody that's familiar with Irish culture would tend to agree with that. And the reason this is an article I brought up too is, a lot of people in the Hex community, or a lot of people that are acquiring wealth through crypto, need to really keep their eye on this type of thing, because these are the kind of people, again, like I always say, liberals are miserable losers, and what does misery love? Misery loves company. It's better in their view to see nobody succeed and everybody fail than to see, somebody succeed while others didn't. So it's easier just to, keep everybody down. And this little picture here kind of makes me think of the Hunger Games, of the have and have-nots and the oppression and corruption and that. So, this administration can't be gone soon enough. But sadly, I don't, on both sides of the fence anymore with politics, I don't think either one of them are going to make moves that are tremendously beneficial for us. But when it comes to tax law, this is something, again, that people need to keep an eye on, need to keep an ear to the ground about, because you don't want to get blindsided with tax code changes, especially if you're somebody that's taking positions and selling stuff off for profits. You want to understand what you are up against when that event takes place. You don't want to be blindsided at tax time and then have a big oh shit moment like, oh my God, what do I do now? You want to definitely think about that before you make any moves. And a lot of people have also talked about, say, the Puerto Rico option, which I know there are Hexicans that are involved with that. I haven't explored that at this point yet. Mortgage applications sink to their lowest level since before the pandemic hit. Again, this one I want to bring up because we all know housing is at an all-time high. There's a lot of mixed reports about how it's going to continue on for years. Also signs of correction. I tend to think that we will start to see corrections instead of massive spikes up continuing in price, because a lot of people just can't afford them, even first-time home buyers. But let's get the key points. Mortgage applications decreased 1.8% last week. This is a big one here. According to the Mortgage Bankers Association's seasonally adjusted index, falling to the lowest levels since beginning of 2020. Both refinance and purchase applications took a hit. Mortgage applications to refinance a home dropped 2% for the week and were 8% lower than a year ago. The decline came even as mortgage rates fell. I'm not surprised to hear this. Two reasons: because much of the home buying, at least down in say the Florida areas, is cash buyers coming from out west and up north that have major amounts of equity in a home. They sold it, then they're moving to regions like this, lower cost. Texas is another one where they can buy a home cash and have tons of money left over. But those people are starting to kind of fizzle out, and it's going now to people actually applying for mortgages and trying to get financing. And many first-time buyers just can't afford a lot of the prices, can't qualify, even with a 20% down payment for many of the homes that are on the market. And homes, price per square foot is shot way up, even in Florida. So there is room for correction there, and there will come a point where cash buyers are going to kind of start to dwindle as they are, and we'll see some of these. And the key point here, I did noticed was even as the mortgage rates fell, the decline of applications came in. So it goes to show you, it's not just that people are pushed out because of higher rates, because we haven't had high rates, and we've had premiumly low rates for quite a while now. So it's just prices of real estate have been absurdly high. Even if you can afford it, you have to take a step back and say, well, is this going to be a wise purchase? You know, unless you're going to live there the rest of your life, maybe. But even then, if you can get a fair reduction in price in a year or two, for this, you don't want to buy a house and have it go down in value over the next 5 years either. Or if we have a big pushback, and there's a lot of things going on in the world and the economy that could cause, a fairly sharp correction in real estate, at least for the short term. All right, so, I wasn't going to go without commenting on our friend George. So as we all know, anybody that's been following Hex and in the Hex community saw this come out. George from Cryptos R Us, I used to watch George until late 2019, and some of the stuff that it wasn't just Hex and the position he took on it. He obviously did no research into it at the time, and he was very bitter towards Richard, but he just randomly, people in the chat, the reason he's got 400,000 subs, he's randomly promoting whatever the hot coin of the day is, and some of them he'll stay on, some of them he'll flip around, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let's play a little bit of some of the excerpts because I wanted to comment on a couple of things he said here.
Trying to promote Hex, trying to pump it up. Now, when he did do a free airdrop, that was a good move.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to stop you right there. George said when somebody asked him in 2019, right as the AA launched, and there was the Bitcoin free claims. I remember this. They said, hey, George, are you going to claim your Bitcoin? And he says, why would I want to claim a free bag of shit? Now, all of a sudden, he's saying the airdrop was a good idea, which makes me think he probably claimed his Bitcoin or for Hex and didn't say anything. And maybe he's one that's, held it or cashed it out. But it's interesting that he flips on that stance if he even remembers what he said. And unfortunately, that's in his old channel, which got shut down, or he shut it down or whatever, and then came back and all the videos were gone, or I would pull up that clip to show you. But let's listen a little bit more.
That was a good move. But for everyone else that he's fooled into buying and staking, right, and basically making one of the biggest Ponzi schemes that we have ever seen outside of BitConnect, this is really like BitConnect 2.0, right? It's just really bad. This is why no one talks about it. No one talks about Hex. No one talks about Richard Hart because no one wants to recognize this scam project. And Richard.
But wait a minute. He's talking about Hex right now, isn't he? So what does he mean nobody's talking about it? But okay, we can take that way. Plenty of people in the Hex community have been coming out. The community's been growing at an exponential rate. So maybe tune into some of the Hex streamers that we have out here. More and more people are stepping up all the time. And as far as tricking people into buying and staking, what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody was tricked into anything. You were given the information, and you could make your choice using that and make an objective decision. There was no trickery. And this Ponzi thing, I'm so tired of hearing this, and we talked about this before anyway. Ponzi's are where you are expecting profits from the work of others. You're giving your money to an entity like a BitConnect, which Hex is not, and they're saying, hey, give me this, and I will 10x your money for you or whatever, and then I'll pay you back. And there's really a phantom company, a phantom project, whatever it may be, and that's just the whole people coming in, and eventually somebody exposes there's really nothing of substance there. There's nothing there, no project, no company, no fund, whatever. And then the whole thing just collapses. This isn't that. You interface with a smart contract. You don't need Richard to do anything. You don't send him money. You don't do anything for him. He's not promising you anything. Hex, those flat out say Hex can drop 80%. That already has. There's no guarantees in price performance. It's just designed with pumpamentals. Let's listen a little bit more.
If you look at some of his interviews, he used to do interviews all the time. He even tells you, I created Hex as a money grab.
Bullshit. He didn't create Hex as a money grab. Listen a little bit more. I'll comment on this.
To get rich. This is why I created it. It serves no purpose but to get myself rich and supposedly anyone else to get in also rich.
Okay, wait a minute. First of all, anybody that followed Richard back in the day, Richard has claimed to already be rich and retire at 23 long before Hex was even an idea, years before that. Okay, so that assertion is total bullshit. And what is this about? Oh, he wants to get rich, and other people to come in and get rich. Well, all Richard has ever called out is that people get into crypto to get rich, and that's why they're there. And you, George, are no different. I'm going to call up something else here in just a second to show that point. So this narrative about how you're so magnanimous and altruistic because you don't care about the money, you just want to help, make the world a peaceful place and stop world hunger. That's all bullshit. You're only in any crypto you own, and I've heard you say it a million times. Bitcoin will create life-changing wealth. Mr. Knowles Deep with life-changing wealth, and B-Chain and every other coin that you talk about, Pancake Swap. What do you always say? Life-changing wealth. So what you're lashing out here again is of no substance. It's a lot of bullshit. It's obviously laced with animosity towards Richard, and just it's not factual. This is another guy too, by the way. And one of the reasons I stopped following him was when the AA, I let him have his say. People can have an opinion, it's whatever. But when the AA had started and the ETH had moved, he came on and he was all giddy about it. And he's like, "Oh man, you guys got scammed. I told you that this Hex was a scam and Richard's going to run away with all your money. I hope you didn't lose too much." It's like, what the hell are you talking about, man? I'm like, anybody that participated in the adoption amplifier, you put in your ETH, you minted your Hex. It was a transaction complete, okay? It's not like going to Dunkin' Donuts and you buy a donut and you eat the donut and then you say, "Oh my God, I got scammed because I gave my money to Dunkin' Donuts and they went and put it in the bank," or wherever you go. It's just, this is just kind of ignorance and stupidity. Again, that's rife in the crypto space because it's just lashing out against Richard. And I'm only saying that, at least come up with something that's a bit more accurate than just these baseless assertions or what your, zoomed out perspective may be.
I mean, he doesn't hide the fact there is no use case for Hex.
Yes, there is. Richard has been saying, and it's on the Hex page, and we've all said it. How many times? It's time locking, certificate deposit on the blockchain. You're time locking your money, which is Hex, okay, your tokens. And you earn interest and you mint your tokens and you run the smart contract. Is it overly complex? No. And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be this under the hood, matrix of complexity between 10 different altcoins to do a transaction on some other exchange. It's not to be like that. Hex functions, and the use case is the monetization of time, period. So again, George, way off the beaten path on that. Again, just lashing. And if you look at the comments in here, all of them are really just lashing out at Richard with very shallow observations. Oh, he looks like the Tiger King. Oh, his watches are bullshit, and then billionaires don't, flaunt their wealth and their egos, and his studio and his clothes. Nothing about really, the fundamentals of the project. And of course, he lashes out the OA. And again, we've talked about, the centralization. I'm going to talk also about, percentages of ownership of any asset class, including stocks. This 20, 40, 50, 60%, I mean, it's commonplace. In fact, even when a corporation buys back stock, where they actually now have a greater control of the pool, that's a positive thing in the stock market. When a big entity, a big whale, if you want to look at the corporation from that vantage point, gets their bags even fuller, taking more of a position in the big pool, it's actually applauded in there. And show me a coin, show me anything where there isn't whales that have, or even one big whale that has a tremendous amount of leverage on price, especially in a small cap, such as this type of, something that really hasn't even, it's still pre-viral. Hex is still pre-viral. I mean, market cap has been doing extremely well, but something that's as heavily gate kept and still has not radiated through the masses. But let people at least make their own decision based on facts. And why does he care so much? If Hex is all this garbage, why does he give a shit? Why did he even make this video? Why not just let it fall on its face? It's already going on 2 years. And all this scam talk has come and gone. It's just a bunch of bullshit. And he is just a big shield for a lot of other things. So I want to, to my point here, and then we'll get off the topic of George. It's right here. Listen to this very carefully, okay? and what he says about XRP and Dogecoin.
Someone says I secretly hold boatloads of XRP. No, I don't hold boatloads of XRP, but I do hold some. I told you guys that. The reason why is XRP and Doge both are the two most pumpable coins. And we have seen XRP pump tremendously, and same deal with Doge. But I do expect short term, if XRP settles a lawsuit, it will jump.
Hold on. Wait a minute. What did you just say? You only hold these two coins because you hope they pump on tweets and random news, and that the biggest bullish move for XRP is that they win their lawsuit. Where's the use case here in Dogecoin? Are you fucking kidding me? What you're basically saying here is that, I hope greater fools come in and pump this thing, right? All I hope is a whole bunch of people come and buy this damn thing so I can dump on your heads. And Doge, come on, and Ripple too. You want to talk about, massive amounts of the token, percentages in balance with a few holders. Those are two perfect examples. Isn't like 60-some% of the Doge held by, 10, 12 wallets, something like that. And XRP, we all know what they are about. But again, what he's saying here is that I don't really care that these have any kind of use case or that they have any kind of fundamentals. I don't even care about the people that get wrecked buying on the bubble. I just want to fill my bags. I want to dump on your heads. So again, George, totally full of shit on this. Stand corrected and maybe stop, going out and lashing out at something like this without and being so hypocritical. Will be my point. Like I said, I used to follow George, and I won't deny it, but I had to stop tuning into him because he was just so dead wrong on a lot of things and very, very hypocritical. And this is a perfect example. Doge and XRP. And even in this video, he talks about pancake swap and bakery swap and fish head swap. And again, it's the typical play we see by YouTubers across the board. Who, again, they all have this magnanimous position of, well, I'm morally superior because, I pumped this coin, my Doge bag. Get the hell out of here. All right, one last thing, and I'll jump into the chat, folks. I've got 115 viewers, too. Wow. This one I found kind of interesting. Funding Jim, one of my favorite hexagons. This is a clip from Funding Jim. He's a man on fire this last couple days. Let's listen in.
I haven't been as public telling everyone in fucking crypto my background, but I know what I'm talking about. You guys are fucking up if you're spending your hex. If you're taking your hex and you're spending it right now and you're not buying something that you can get the cash back out to put right back in hex, you're fucking up. I'm just telling you right now, right? So I'm going to buy multi-million-dollar property in Medellin. I'm going to buy multi-million-dollar property in Puerto Rico. I'm going to rent that shit out. It's going to be to you guys if you want to be Hexaricans and you want to be visiting for a month or a couple of weeks or something like that, socialize, you want to build lifestyle, you want to meet supermodels.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to meet supermodels. God damn it. Why'd you end the video? I'm just giving shit. But, he's spot on, right? And you can't deny Gary. He's a legacy hexagon. He's a smart guy. He knows finance. He's very successful. He's done tremendous things for the community. He's had tremendous accomplishments in his own life and career. And he shares his knowledge. He shares his insights. He helps people raise themselves up and become successful. And I applaud him for all those things. And in this, he's bringing it home. What he's saying is, guys, I made a tweet a couple of weeks ago about, would you buy a $100 bill for 8 cents? And I think anybody could, understand what I was saying there. And that's basically, hey guys, hex going to $1 is one thing, $10 another thing. Richard's even called out 100. We're at an 8-point-some cent price point. If you're dumping it now, like Gary says, foolish move. Very likely to backfire on you down the road. In fact, anybody that dumped at even a penny or two, which some thought that was the all-time highs that was ever going to hit, I'm certainly regretting that now. If you have hundreds of thousands of hex and you're staked and you're earning interest and, hex taking profits is one thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But being trigger happy on, dumping bags just because there's a price wake up is usually, a regrettable move. I mean, no financial advice. Everybody has to do what is right for them. But jumping off because of FUD, let's say the George video being a good example here. If you just listen to him slashing out and lashing out at Hex, and look, he's got a lot of followers. I mean, if you just want to look in the comments in the chat, I mean, they're all just applauding him and, preaching about how, they're just encouraging him to keep on. So sure, if you want to just listen to that kind of crap, you'll flood yourself out of everything. But if you want anybody in Hex, we all know generally is an independent thinker, a rugged individual, and somebody that makes a decision and sticks with it, regardless of what others say. We only base on the facts. If the facts change around what Hex is today, then all of us, myself included, would say so. We would adjust our view of the product as a result. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into the chat. So we got a whole bunch of chat here. What time are we at? Okay, we got about half an hour, no problem. I missed some of the chat, folks. So if I don't click on you, that's why. Community is on point as usual. Yep, 42 watching, 42 likes. Hit the likes. Yeah, guys, please hit likes. And also, if you're not already on my other channel, Big Pep, please go like and go subscribe to that as well. What up, Rated Hex and Squiggly? Chessis, is that right? Hey, Pep. Hey, Chessis, how you doing? Hex Machina, what's up, Big Pep? Welcome to DS. Hey, Hex Machina. Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy the DS network. I think it's a cool setup they have here. T-Bird, great catch, Big Pep live. Thanks, T-Bird. XO Joe, yo, Pep. What's up, Hexicans? What's up, XO Joe? Mr. Hartman, I always thought of Big Pep as a pirate, now verified. Thank you, Mr. Hartman. Yes. I'm kind of a low-key pirate, I guess. Hex Machina, what up, XO Joe? And Elon Musk trolls Big Pep's channel. Yeah, Elon, I think he trolls, he trolls me. It's okay. I let him. I mean, he's welcome to troll me. I don't mind. Anybody can. I mean, there's plenty of other trolls out there, but Elon, he likes to just see what I'm up to. Because, I mean, now I'm on Discourse Syndicate Network. I'm sure he's definitely trolling. And my other channel's got over 1,000 subs, so I'm sure he's taking notice of that. No question. Pay Me Hex, what's good? What's Big Pep? Good morning. Not much. Pay Me Hex is doing well. Another hot day here in Florida. Baseline. Hey, boys. What the hex? Good morning. Audio's good. Thanks, Ross. Lights out. What's up? User 123. Good morning, Big Pep. Do you think that gatekeeping of Hex Pulse will slowly come to an end? What do you think about the latest streams that included Richard and many famous YouTubers? Well, as far as the gatekeeping, I do think it will gradually end, but I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. And I think it's going to be very slow and go, unfortunately. But over time, we will see some inroads there. As far as famous YouTubers, I guess we're talking maybe BitBoy and those guys. I mean, I think it's good that he's getting some FaceTime anywhere that he can get out to the masses. I think, though, as we already see, just with George is not the only one. I know Chico Crypto hates Hex. I know Crypto Crow hates Hex. They're also big YouTubers. When he gets some press from people such as like the BitBoy streams, those folks are going to lash out as well. So there's a bit of give and take when it comes to that. But what really will keep Hex, will prevent the gatekeeping going forward is as Hex continues to thrive, people are making gains on it. There's no exploits. There's no rug pulls. There's no shady things. It's one of the, as long as the product keeps performing is what I should really say. And I don't just mean up and to the right forever. There's volatility we see every day. But as long as the long-term price performance is positive, we'll have some dips here and there, whatever, but as long as the long-term price performance is positive and liquidity remains and continues to grow organically and more people are using it, the use case is very clear for Hex, which I don't understand why people say it's not. Lock up your Hex. It's monetization of time. Again, it doesn't have to be, overly complex. If it was, nobody would buy it. This is why people don't buy a lot of this other stuff out there, because it's just tokens on tokens on tokens to just do a transaction where you hope it might go up. But the use case for those is, really, it's nothing of substance at all, because if nobody uses those other tokens, there's no use case to be had. Cal W, hey Big Pep, what you say is good amount of T-shares to have? Well, I would say at this point, Cal, T-shares are getting rather expensive. It really depends on what your staking ladder is like. I hate to give such a generic answer, but as many as you can get your hands on. A lot of people, if I give you some rough numbers, are targeting 100 T-shares now, which is rather expensive. However, you can acquire more by those longer stakes. And, again, building your ladder will help you have the strong hands for the long stakes, but also give you some stuff to realize in the shorter term. And I don't think it's too far out before we see Hex T-share prices, and I mean the USD value, get to a point where average investors can't come in and even acquire them, and maybe any greater quantity than one or two, even with a longer stake, because the number of Hex is like 18,200. When Hex hits $1, I don't even say if, I just say when. That's $18,000 for a T-share alone. And now you could maybe play that number a little bit if you do like a 10-year stake, 15-year stake. But as far as the number, whatever is within your range to keep the strong hands, is really the answer there. It's different for everybody. But getting any T-shares now is very, very important, because there will come a time where they're going to be in the B shares for the average person. Molly Investor, what's up, everyone? What's up, Molly? Hex Machine, I think the gate is already slowly coming down. In some areas it is. Ross Hex, any amount of T-shares is good, right? Hex Machine, if you can still get some T-shares, get them. Yeah, whatever you can. J Money, Pep for president. Sure, I'll run next time. Can't do any worse than what we've had, right? T-Bird, the iron fist of the CCP, exactly. I've been over there too. I've visited. I've got a visa to China. Crispy, hey guys, happy Big Pep Day. Hey, good to see you, Crispy. Thank you. Ross Hex, the Hex variant is the only one that matters. I like that, Ross. I like that. Spike Truth. Esteban, morning, Big Pep. What's up, Hexicans? Morning, Esteban. Good to see you. Wake Dog, good to see you. Sig Hex, morning. Ross, more like douches are us. Yeah, I've tuned out from him a long time ago. And if I was to buy a lot of the stuff he's shilled, it's either flat or dead or going nowhere. I mean, you might have made, wicks up here and there. If you didn't get out in time, you're probably wrecked. Lights out 193. It's funny that Hexo dug up that he wrote a pro BitConnect article. I saw that too. Yeah, where again, George is your typical YouTube shill. He'll go with, he's the jellyfish type of personality. He'll just go where the tide brings him, and whoever's going to pay him the bills. And his little excerpt there kind of proves the point of he doesn't give a shit about anybody except he's going to dump on their head when there's a price wick up. Maybe he'll hold for a bigger price wick up at most, but he's going to dump on your head. Morning UK when the gates will open, yeah. I'm sure George trolls my channel too. I mean, I got over 1,000 subs. I mean, possibly the greatest YouTuber of all time. I've got a $35 camera. I got the light kit. I mean, I'm definitely probably top 1% of YouTube. Red Hex, go watch Joker's stream over the other day with George, FN. I haven't seen that yet. I will check that out this afternoon. I'm behind on some of the streams. But Ellie, just wait till the regulators come for him like Trayvon. True. George is a clown. True, Sam. George is a potato come to life. He is kind of like that Mr. Potato Head a little bit, Esteban. It's like that little roly-poly-oly show, my son used to watch as a little kid. It's his little computer animated, big round characters. That's kind of what he reminds me of there. That's machine. He's got a bag of Hex. I think he does. That little comment he made about the airdrop being a good thing, I'm telling you, that was not his attitude. That was definitely not the stance he took when somebody asked him about claiming his Bitcoin. So it's curious that he all of a sudden switched gears like that. So, well, no, the airdrop was a good idea. Yeah, because you probably claimed your Hex, got some mad gains, but weren't man enough to come out and say you did. Or you didn't want to muddy up your reputation and be hypocritical. You just dumped on, maybe you still even have it staked out. I don't know, but you probably don't want to admit that, oh, yeah, well, you should have claimed it. I said you shouldn't, so I'll just pretend that I still hate it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of these guys actually have a bag of Hex, at least from the free claims. They just can't admit it because they've lashed out so harshly at the product. Weatherman, who is this Chinese penis? Oh, it's George. Yeah, he's one of the more popular YouTubers. He's in and out. He has a car channel and a Lego channel too, I think. Hornet, what is wrong with the people? Yeah. Oh, the irony. Haters going to hate because they are broke plebs, exactly. And in a market like now, Halo Plunder, the reason you're going to see this kind of lashing out more and more is because the market itself is down. So a lot of these other coin holders are wrecked or flat on their money, and they're not making any gains, and they're nervous, and they're worried about crypto winter. And then they see Hex, and they get more pissed off because they missed a boat to begin with, and now the boat they jumped on is taking on water. So of course they're going to lash out. Instead of fixing their own agenda and their own mindset, they go and lash out at people that are on a winning product. T-Bird, it amazes me how many dumbass subscribers he has that he will take to the cleaners. Well, they cheerlead him because he promotes, in the chat, he takes tips and he promotes most of what they comment about. If he speaks kindly, then they're happy with him because he's pumping their bags. That's the only reason. That's a good quote. Lights out. George literally makes me want to smack anyone who is named George. I saw somebody did a really funny one. Maybe it was Motley on the George Costanza with the photo booth. That was pretty funny. Who is that little bitch? Crypto journeyman, George Cryptosaurus. So I think it was Molly did that on Twitter. That was pretty funny. They never call top or bottom. No, they just like to continue to lure people in, and then they make money on these margin trading platforms. He's another shill for those. George Coin got his followers wrecked. I saw that too. I think maybe it was Hex or somebody pointed that out. I mean, even Null's Deep is flat. Haven't done shit. It's still like 20, 30 cents. He's been pumping that. He was the one that coined the phrase Null's Deep. Now Null's Deep losses is all you see. George, why are you mad, bro? He's mad because maybe he didn't stake. Maybe he dumped his Hex and didn't stake it. Crypto Kobe, George is what it means to be a lemon. Yep. Reddit Hex, he starts to trash all the watches and stuff behind Richard, but he has an Nike poster and IKEA lamp behind him, LMAO. Yeah, and he's got this big Lego collection too, I've seen. And he's got these cars that he test drives for his other channel, and he boasts those time and again. The people lashing out about the watches and the clothes and the whole Tiger King comments and stuff, I mean, this is just ad hominem, shallow observations. This has nothing to do with who Richard is, and it really has nothing really to do with Hex. None of this stuff factors into Hex. And Richard allegedly could have bought that stuff for quite a long time. So I don't care. His studio is his studio. Those things are not why I get in Hex. Those are not why really any of us are here, and it's not why any of us stay in Hex and continue to promote it, stake it, and get the word out. So I mean, that's all just again. They don't really know what to take a shot at, so they just look for stupid little superficial things. I don't, Crypto Journeyman, no, I don't get mad. It's down 90%. Crypto Journeyman, I might throw a Hex at him. Maybe, but that Hex might be worth $100 someday. They don't get it. That's right, Plunder. Duke, the entire contents of his home is worth less than one of Richard's watches. Probably the home itself is worth less than one of Richard's watches. Can't say that, though. That must be, a billionaire ego thing. So I saw, again, those comments were kind of ridiculous. Weatherman, people get into crypto to preserve their purchasing power. They don't know that yet. Right. Hex is the use case. The use case is so simple. Monetization of time and earning interest. It's really just that simple. I mean, I don't know why. And of course, price performance is also a factor in that. But it's meant to be, a narrative people understand. If it was some kind of deep physics, space exploration coin, well, nobody would probably even take the time to learn about it, and it'd be too complex and not something people are interested in. Shake my head with this dork. Yep. Crypto Journeyman, I'll be honest, I'm no mathematician and probably don't get it like most, but what I do get is putting my money in a vehicle that's moving up and to the right. Well, that, with any investment asset class, Crypto Journeyman, that's really the name of the game. I mean, most people that buy stocks don't understand the stock market that well. They're not traders. They're not economists. If you had to be a metals expert to invest in gold, well, nobody'd freaking do it. People buy these things just for, price performance, and that's it. And they like it to be easier. I mean, the S&P 500 was designed so people that don't know stocks could just buy a big pool of them in one fund and hope to make some gains. Looks like we got a good price wake up, folks. About 8.4 X cents, 8.46 or so. Nice. I'll show you here in a minute. T-Bird, George's face is a scam. Geo is idiot 1 against privacy 2 for Bybit and Binance Sex, CEX CMC 3, true, not into Uniswap 4, Probanks and KYC 5, no idea what a key is 6, Block F shill, exactly. Good points there, Hermith. Wake Dog, George is a big shill. Look at all the ads at the bottom of his screen. It's a billboard of affiliates, exactly. They're paying his way. I mean, I think the guy quit his job a long time ago to do these crypto channels, so he's getting paid to shill, no question about that. Benny Bills, good morning, Pep and Hexagon Gang. Good morning, Benny. Sappery's on the list. Crypto Journeyman, yeah, he's jealous, Pep. I'm sure. I understand. I'm used to it. QC Organics, tell him BP. Sig Hex, he's on the spectrum. Maybe. Not sure which one that's referring to there. Plunderer, morning. Matt C, fuck George, exactly. George, is that his real name? Weatherman, I'm not sure. It's tough, anybody's guess, maybe. Crypto Journeyman, look at the size of his head. He does have like a potato head, I agree. And I didn't even try to make that kind of, when I even brought up his video, I wanted to bring him to the points. He does have kind of a bulbously, goofy physical appearance, but I wanted to focus mostly on what he was saying and some of the errors and contradictions in the context there. But I understand, you're right, 100%. What an idiot. Yep, right, Gavin. Kareem, hey, good to see you, Kareem. Hashtag preach big Pep. Thanks, Kareem. And in fact, I saw you on FN Hangout. A good group, good lineup had on there last night. Lights out. He's such a hypocrite, and he's suffering from Richard derangement syndrome. Many of the YouTubers are. Many of the legacy guys are. It's very obvious where their hostility is rooted. It's always in Richard. It's never in. I've never heard one of them even try to make a case against the Hex token code, the product performance, none of these things. It's always against Richard and the OA and all this other stuff. Betsy, he is fucking clown. He is. YouTube crypto is an embarrassment. Sadly, and that's why a lot of people don't take it seriously, by the way, because of that kind of stuff. RG3, you are a bigger influencer than this clown. Thank you, RG3. Own it, Pep. We are taking crypto back. Appreciate it, RG3. I mean, I do have Elon Musk trolling my channel, so, I guess that's something. Kareem, disingenuous dude and total fraud. Absolutely right. Crypto Journeyman, I got an XRP bag because I like money, but Doge is dumb. I mean, look, and the thing is, the takeaway from crypto and what Richard has said, Richard was the only one who came out and just called it. People want to get into crypto to get rich. And I am the same mentality, and I don't apologize for that. And guess what? I get into the stock market for the same reasons. I don't even own an iPhone. I don't give a shit about Tim Cook. I don't care about any of that stuff. But guess what? If the stock's performing, I'll be in it. Same with Facebook. I think Facebook is a bunch of pleb highlight reel bullshit. But I'll buy Facebook stock if it's going to perform, and I'll dump it when I think it's bubbled. And it's just that simple, But people getting into crypto, they want to get rich, and Richard called it out. And this product is designed around that narrative. It's just that simple. And people shouldn't have to apologize for that, because anybody who says they don't want to get rich in crypto is a damn liar. George, especially, is one of those people. As most crypto, anybody in crypto is on the same agenda. Phil's well explained, Big Pep. So many of them full of duplicity. It's true. I mean, Chico Crypto, same thing, right? He does a lot of deep dives and stuff. He's a smart guy and all, but I've caught him tripping up on his own words, and it's obvious where his agenda is. And I mean, you can talk all this same kind of, we want to bring the crypto use case. We want to bring crypto to the masses because I care about people getting wrecked in banks. You don't fucking care. You care about your token going to the moon and cashing some bags. I mean, give me a break. That's why you get paid to promote too. Now you disclose it. I'm not saying you don't, but I'm just saying. I mean, let's be clear. Don't try to stand on both sides of the fence with it. When they get a dose of reality, they can't handle it right. Lights out. I trust Pep over George any day. Thanks, Lights out. He will lose a lot more followers now, most likely. Hex Machine. I think when people start looking at the performance, they can't deny it. I watched about 3 minutes of his video and then turned it off. Total trash, exactly. George equals plebtard personified. Well said, T-Bird. Big Pep, get the hell out of here, LOL. Yep. Crypto Journeyman, I have some cake baking, 110% APY, but my biggest bag is Hex. Good advice. Yeah, Hex is the long play. And Hex, I mean, it's just getting started. It really is pre-viral. Wait till this thing gets mainstream and starts to take off. Gary is raging lately. Yeah, Gary's a man on fire lately, I'll tell you what. Gary's definitely one of my favorites. Benny Bill's total. Lights out, hit the likes, people. Yeah, folks, hit the likes. Trying to catch up on chat here. I got about 5 minutes left before Nerd Girl comes on. Matt C., you know what I fucking hate about these people? They have lost people money at one point or another. Richard, to my knowledge, has never lost anyone money. Don't know about you guys, but I'm good. Exactly. And Richard has no way for you to send him money. He doesn't put a wallet address. You can't send him money. He's very clear about that. And people have wanted to, even well before Hex. And you know, it's one of those things that, again, baseless assertions people make. Hey guys, Pep, I love your salt of the earth perspective. Thanks, Pammy Hex. Hilarious, Big Pep. Thanks, John. Matt C, before BTC, he was rich. Exactly. You're right. Crypto isn't even what got Richard rich, allegedly, according to what he says. Wake Dog. Median, that's Colombia, right? No thanks. Too many cartels there, LOL. Gavin, how bad are all the poor crypto influencers now looking with their gambling? Hex is really starting to prove its worth and its smart, logical approach to crypto holding. The only way is up. Well said. Lights out. Gary recovered from COVID with a vengeance. He certainly did. I'm glad I met him out there in Vegas. I wish I could have. I hope we'll be there next time wherever we have a meetup. I'll definitely make a point. Hopefully, I don't have to be a slave to corporate America, you know, a pleb to corporate America by then, or I can detach from some of that. EF Hutton. When Gary talks, people listen. They should listen. Gary has a wealth of knowledge, and he shares that freely. I mean, you pay for a seminar, and you know, paying a lot of money for seminars on how to become wealthy and come out with nothing. And Gary gives all that for free, so definitely listen to him. Baggio wins supermodel. That's what I want to know. Maybe Hex at $1. Fun fact: I dump every morning. Right there with you, Wake though. Oh, let's see here. Oh, I'm probably not going to catch all the chat, but let's run through, see if there's anything here. Holy cow. Kind of sucks. I had to dump 1,000 hex yesterday. It was emergency, but I make well over 1,000 hex a day in interest. Well, Vance, you know, it happens. That's life happens. It's not the end of the world. 1,000 hex you can recover quickly, just like I said. Human nature to undermine and bash the competition, right? QC Organics, great stream, Big Z. I got about 4 minutes left. Big Pep, have you heard that Klaus Schwab is speaking about a global cyber attack? Is they shut down electricity? What do you think it will do for crypto? Nothing. I don't think it'll do anything. I think it's going to, well, I'll take that back. If they use that as an excuse to push back on Bitcoin, because that's always the ransom that they want to be paid in, or the currency they want the ransom paid in, there might be some segues that, but they really need to do is go after where these hackers are. This R Evil, which is the main group out of Russia. They need to start taking some action against that. Going after crypto isn't going to change anything with these people. They'll just get paid in another means. Mr. Chips, good morning, Big Pep. Energized to wake up to the community banding together. Exactly. Grab a smile, Pep. It's okay. This is me smiling, see? There you go. I have too fat now. When I smile, that's like a workout. I got to get back in shape. What happens to the hex after it ended? Stake, if it's not in stake, just stays liquid in your bag. Just stays liquid in your wallet. I mean, it will price appreciate, but you'll dilute your position if you're not staked, because everybody else that's staked is earning the interest and you're not. But you can still have price appreciation. DP Murray, suggestion for noobs who invest 1K into Hex. I would say if you just put $1,000 into Hex, build a staking ladder. Plain and simple. And not in too small of portions. Model it out, but at least get yourself a staking ladder. With that amount, you could probably put 2 or 3 stakes, maybe a 1, 5, and 10, or maybe a 5, 10, and 15. I probably got like a 5, 10, or 15. I wouldn't do a real short one, or anything too small. Al Bundy, I only listen to Richard Hart now. The Hex product has allowed me to walk away from selling women's shoes. That's funny, Al. Forever, hallelujah. I hear you. Need to get them to nomics. True. It's like traders don't like Hex because it's hodl coin. Well, exactly. It doesn't fit their agenda. We should muster the men and try to get these clowns to live stream with RH. Well, somebody did try to put together a George-Richard debate, and Richard was all in. George, I don't think has responded, or he won't. That's where he really should go. George, just debate Richard. I mean, I know you probably want my channel because it's got over 1,000 subs, but go debate Richard because he's the founder. I think that's the guy you're saying is the scammer. So that's where you should target. It's already been offered and set up. Vance Malone, but with the gatekeeping, CoinMarketCap will look embarrassed that they suddenly listed Hex at number 4 or 5. But it's tough to swallow your pride, and it's tough to stand corrected. Even Richard admitted that changing his worldview on Ethereum was a bit humiliating, or a bit humbling. But he did it, and he grew as a result of it. And now look at where we are. I think Richard should stick to running a company to get a spokesperson, maybe. What is that, 100 million or 10 million T-shares is good, definitely. The like button won't smash itself. Good point, Benny. I sold 2/3 of my alts in April, bought a huge bag of Hex. Good move. Freaking awesome move. Well, about 30 seconds here, guys. Big Pep, do you lift weights? I do. I have not for a while because my shoulder has a torn rotator cuff, working on physical therapy to get that healed, and then I get my fat ass back in. Right now, the only weight I'm lifting is myself out of the chair. I need to get back in there, though, and fix that. Always going to be haters, attract a wider crowd of Hexicans. We just keep playing fair, be cool. Exactly. All right, folks. I see there's some chat here, but you see hackers Russia. He's talking about Klaus Schwab. I don't know who Klaus Schwab is, Weatherman. I'd have to look that one up. I remember the R Evil narrative story this week about ransomwares and that kind of thing. I thought maybe it was around that. Okay, we're at the hour. Well, we're not quite 12 o'clock. We're a few minutes. So let's catch up on the last few of these and we'll go. I didn't get to the bottom of the BPD dip, but got a good portion of it just because I was ready and looking for something like Hex at the time. And luckily found it. I mean, best time to buy Hex is yesterday. Next best time is today. Nomics. Gary's still talking. Oh, yeah, Gary, well, I'll tell you what, he's amped up. Really like Gary. It's crazy how much energy he has. He is a very valuable part of the Hex community, and Hexicans should soak that knowledge and wisdom up. Absolutely. He is definitely a core pillar in the community. Him, Hexo, RG3, Kinetics. I'm sure I missed a bunch of others. All these guys, and Kareem and Cabana, Whales, all these folks, right? Some came in a little later than others, but anybody that's on these streams and putting their time out there for free, and all of us trying to help, work cohesively and share ideas and share thoughts. Definitely, hats off to everybody that's participating for sure. All right, George is like that annoying kid at school. Very true. Okay, folks. I am right at noon. I'm going to go ahead and close the stream. Tune in. Starting right now would be Nerd Girl and the Building Bridges show. So go ahead and tune in there, and we will catch you guys next Saturday. Stay safe. We'll see you.